Hey everyone, Shabba here and welcome back to our next episode of SWE. This is our next our next Mayhem show. And this is going to be a big one for you here this evening. We've actually got more matches than them as well, straight from Hartford, Connecticut. Obviously tackling the big boys in our hometown. And here we go, we're starting this big show off here this evening with Sting versus Jake Roberts. Now this should be a very interesting match. Very interesting indeed. Of course, last week Sting lost to Finn Balor 1-on-1. So Sting's going to need to turn things around and get himself some more ranking points in the bag. I think this might be the first time we're seeing Jake Roberts. We might have seen him already, actually. I feel like we have seen him already. Although I think I'm wrong. So I'm just going through all the other pay-per-views and so forth, the other shows. No, nothing there. No, this is the first time we're seeing Jake Roberts in Season 3 of SWE. Yep, definitely. First time we're seeing Roberts. And Sting's had a few matches here and there. I think he's been a part of a few specials as well as obviously doing the normal Mayhem shows. But like I said, he's not had the best of times recently, losing that match to Finn Balor. But then again, everyone's lost to Finn Balor, so you can't blame him too much. Let's get the rankings up. Might take me a couple of seconds because my Internet Explorer's not open. But there you go. So a big show for you this evening. Then we've got Sting versus Roberts starting things off. Then we've got Ember taking on Ivelisse for the women's #1 contendership. So the winner of that one will go on to face off against Asuka at our next pay-per-view called Hollywood Heat. Also, we're going to have Randy Orton taking on Jim Neidhart Neidhart. So last week we saw Randy Orton taking on Larry Zabir, a legend, if you will, from the 70s. And now he's going to be taking on Jim Neidhart, who's very much a legend of the 80s. So interesting build-up there by Randy Orton. We've got Demolition versus the Brainbusters for the tag team #1 contenderships. Finn Balor will continue his quest to prove to Daniel Bryan and PJ Toby that he deserves to be at the top of the roster. And that tonight will be against Kane. And then our main event is going to be a very interesting match. It's going to be the Great Muta versus Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. So a cracker there for you. Let's get the rankings open. I feel like Jake Roberts might be quite high up. I might be wrong though. Let's have a gander. Mayhem singles roster. Jake Roberts, where are you? Jake Roberts is on 120 points at this point in time, which is about sort of 15th, 20th in the rankings. It's not bad. Obviously it means he gained 20 points in Season 2. So he's got a good chance to get another 5 here. Sting currently on 140, so Sting's looking in a good position. And Sting will both these guys be looking to push themselves up, but I don't think a loss is really going to throw either of these two guys into a big state of disrepair. So it'd be pretty interesting which one of these two comes out on top. Of course, Sting being a former television champion could help Jake Roberts' future, should he wish to get that opportunity. But of course, it's all down. We already know that it's going to be Randy Savage versus Bret Hart at the pay-per-view for the television championship. But you never know. Afterwards, one of these two guys could definitely try and get themselves back in that championship picture. But I think in Sting's point of view, he just wants to get back on winning ways after that loss to Finn Balor last week. And of course, in Jake Roberts' point of view, this is his debut in Season 2, and he really wants to show what he can do and push himself on and get an opportunity to build himself up and maybe, you never know, get himself a championship match next month. That's the big plan, I think. As my PlayStation sounds like it's about to overheat and blow up, as always. It seems to do that a lot at the moment. I keep saying every episode I'm going to get the dust out the back, but I keep forgetting and making another video instead. As you do. Sting now elbow in the top of the head, now in for a backbreaker. Or a sidewalk slam, should I say. Sting now with the shin breaker as well. And now Jake Roberts takes it in a very back and forth match, this one so far. And there's a sidewalk slam again. This time by Jake Roberts on Sting. I don't think Jake Roberts... Was Jake Roberts a former television champion? I don't think he was. No, I don't think he was. But Sting definitely was. Of course, Sting was. He won the championship at Shabby Mania. Referee counted. Of course, this is a standard match, so this would end up being a count out. Both guys back in the ring, and it is Jake Roberts in control at this point in time. Nice clothesline there by him. Now drops into the pin. 1, 2. Only a 2 count. Jake Roberts, if he got something big here like a DDT, this could be enough to finish Sting off. And Sting, if he got back-to-back losses in 2 weeks, that would be poor for him. And there it is, the DDT by Jake Roberts on Sting. Roberts rolling Sting over in for the pin. 1, 2. No, Sting kicked out. I don't know why I'm surprised. So everyone kicks out of finishes now, don't they, in this game? Maybe I need to boost the finisher strength again. Yeah, because that's something I did in last year's game, actually, that I don't think I've changed this year, because the balance on this year's game was looking quite good. But yeah, since they've done a couple of updates, the finishers just don't seem to get victories anymore very often. First attempts, which I think it should do, really. Especially in normal shows like this, it should do. Sting now taking Jake Roberts up, looking for the tombstone pile driver. Sting now staring down Jake Roberts, and we could see a Scorpion Death Drop. Sting stalking the grounded Roberts. He does. There's the Scorpion Death Drop from behind. There's the pin. Referee gets down. 1, 2, and again a kick out. Told you. It just happens far too often now. Like in big matches I could understand it, but normal weekly shows like this just seems a bit weird, doesn't it? It does seem a bit weird. Like I said, we do have 6 matches for you on the card here this evening, unless there's one that goes really, really wrong. But I'm pretty sure I've got 6 matches on the card for you. And we very nearly had 7. I really wanted to play the other match, but it was just a bit too long, and there just wasn't the right amount of stuff. So we have done it as a dark match, and it was a win for the Revival over Ultimo Dragon and Jushin Liger. Roberts now just wrenching back at the chin of Sting. Sting slowly back up to his feet now. Elbow right in the gut of Roberts. Which one of these two guys is finally able to finish the other one off? Reverse chin lock once again by Sting as Roberts slowly getting back up to his feet. Couple of big elbows. Yes, don't forget we already have confirmed that we are going to see Bret Hart versus Randy Savage for the television championship at the pay-per-view. Apart from that, we're still pretty much open. We are going to figure out the women's #1 contender and the tag team #1 contender here this evening, though. So like I said, Ember versus Ivelisse this evening. The winner goes on to face off against Asuka at the pay-per-view. And the Brainbusters versus Demolition, the winners of that one goes on to face off against the Legion of Doom at the pay-per-view for the tag team championships. PJ Toby has already booked one match that's not a championship match, but just a really cool we both want to see. And that is Shawn Michaels versus Chris Jericho at the pay-per-view as well. Of course, The Rock will defend his World Mayhem Championship. That will be decided next week in a match between Batista and Triple H. And I think that's everything. We're going to have one more match, but we're not 100% sure what that match is going to be yet, but I'm sure it'll come into place pretty soon. Sting now over the top into that roll up, and he wins it. Wow. Wow, okay. Okay, that was a weird one. After all the action that happened in that match, that was a bit of a weird ending, but there you go, it happened either way. So the DDT there by Jake Roberts, and of course the Scorpion Death Drop by Sting a little bit after as well. But in the end, it was that quick over-the-top roll up, that sunset flip, that got Sting the victory, and those are points that he needs. It's not necessarily the points that he needs, I think, it's more the momentum and trying to get rid of any possible sort of debuff that he might get, the sort of cold streak and so forth. So I think Sting's done a very good job here, and it's just down to him now to try and build upon this and get himself back into another strong position next month. I don't know, obviously he's not going to get a chance at the Mayhem Championship now, and we've already got #1 contendership for the TV title sorted as well. So I don't think we'll see much of Sting now until next month, but it's going to be pretty good. See, Jake Roberts not happy with the referee, saying it wasn't a free count, and Sting not very gracious in his victory, is he there? Not very gracious at all. And here is our next match of the evening. It is going to be that women's #1 contendership match as Ember Moon takes on Ivelisse. Now, I'm pretty sure this is a pretty good Ivelisse. I've not tried it yet in this universe mode. But by the looks of it, it's pretty good. Tattoo-wise is spot on. The only problem is it's very difficult to tell when you download wrestlers now because it shows their entrance attire. And a lot of people put things over their face so you can't see what they actually look like. And I've had that problem quite a lot with the likes of Marty Scurll and so forth with the Plague Mask. But now I know I've got a very good Marty Scurll, I'm happy. And it's the sort of same thing here with this Ivelisse because she's got the bandana across the face. So we're not quite sure 100% what her face looks like, but I'm pretty sure it's good. What I can see looks very good. But talking of very good, here we are with Ember Moon. Of course, pretty, I want to say low in the rankings because it's not really that way, but obviously she's quite new into the game for us. We did utilise it a little bit last year. But because she was a core and it wasn't fantastic, we didn't use it as much as we probably will do this year. Now that she's on the game, I feel like she's going to get a lot of opportunities. Thanks to PJ Tovey. I think he's a big fan of Ember Moon, and how can you not be? She's fantastic, really, and obviously the NXT Women's Champion now as well. And she really deserves that, to be honest. She's put a lot of good work in over the last year or so, putting some fantastic matches against Asuka. Probably, in my opinion, maybe the best matches that Asuka's put on were the ones against Ember Moon. I don't think that's difficult to say. I don't think the ones against Bayley, were good, but I don't think they were quite on par with the Ember Moon ones. So attire-wise, spot on. Tattoo there on the stomach is spot on as well. I liked the entrance from last year where she came over the barricade, to be honest. But this is still pretty good. Although her face is slightly clipping through the bandana, it's not a problem. I like the way someone's made the cut to their trousers just by putting like circles on her legs and making them skin coloured. I quite like this actually. It's looking pretty good. It just all depends what she looks like when she takes off the bandana, really. But this should be a very interesting match then. Ivelisse, is she a former women's champion? I remember she had opportunities. I can't remember if she was a former women's champion or not, though. She might be, in honesty. But I'm not 100% sure. I feel like the only 3 people to have ever won the Women's Championship on Mayhem are Asuka, Sasha and Ivelisse, but the belt's changed hands a few times. It's just always been between those 3. Ooh, that Ivelisse looks a bit more ropey when you take the bandana off her face, doesn't it? I feel like it's a face scan, so it's not bad. I think it's just the fact that you haven't got the right facial expression. I think that's the main problem, I think. You see Ivelisse there with a belly to back slam. Now just launching Ember Moon down to the ground, a big slap in the face. Knee strike in the face now by Ivelisse and a boot in the shin. For sending Ember Moon into the far side ropes, then into that flapjack. A nice running dropkick in the corner by Ivelisse as well. Really not allowing Ember Moon any time to rest between attacks. Nice stiff right hand, and now looking for that reverse suplex, but Ember Moon fighting back into a vertical suplex of her own. Ember with a knee right in the spine. Ember now dragging Ivelisse away from the ropes before just laying her across them and pinging her back into the middle of the ring. Ember now bringing Ivelisse back up to her feet. Remember, this match is for the chance to face off against Asuka at Hollywood Heat for the Mayhem Women's Championship. in a couple of weeks' time. Ivelisse managed to break free from the slam into a pin of her own, but only enough for a 1 count. So it takes a bit more interest than that to try and get the win, but I suppose it's just a chance for... It's just a chance for Ivelisse to get a couple of seconds respite while she pins Ember Moon. I think that's the main reason why. You're causing Ember Moon to use up energy by kicking out, but at the same time you're preserving energy by basically lying down doing nothing. So it works pretty well in that way. Ivelisse now pinging Ember Moon off of the ropes into the middle of the ring. Ivelisse, I think she just dragged Ember Moon in a complete circle. They didn't really gain anything from that at all, to be honest. Ivelisse decides against the springboard. Obviously Ember still being on her feet is probably an issue. Ivelisse now dropping Ember neck first across that top rope before dragging her back up to her feet. Big kicks across the chest of Ember Moon. And one right on the side of the head as well. Ivelisse in firm control. Commentator's curse, there we go. It's just saying Ivelisse is in firm control just as Ember Moon gets up and really takes Ivelisse down, but then goes for the Ace Crusher. Ivelisse fights her free. Now Ivelisse spinning kick. Wow. Ember looks down. Is she out though? There's the pin. 1, 2, and 3. And there we go. It is Ivelisse who's going to get that championship match against Asuka at the pay-per-view. Might have to have a look at another Ivelisse though, because I'm not 100% sure on this one now. It looks really good with the bandana. The eyes are spot on. The thing is, the tattoo's perfect. The attire's perfect. It's just the face is just throwing me off. I'm confused. I'm confused. And there was that spinning kick right in the face of Ember Moon. Enough to finish her off. That could have knocked her completely unconscious. And it was enough for the 1, the 2, and the 3. And there we go then. Ivelisse is going to Hollywood Heat to face off against Asuka for the Women's Championship. See, it is a face scan. You can tell it's a face scan because you can see the line across her head. I think it's another one of these things, like I've said before. It's facial expressions and body language that sort of throws you out on this game. I don't know. I'm struggling here because the face scan has to look right. The attire looks pretty good. The tattoo's pretty good. I'm just struggling here. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And here's our next match of the evening. It is going to be Randy Orton taking on Jim the Anvil Neidhart. So last week, Randy Orton demolished Larry Zbyszko in such a short period of time. And now he gets a chance here to continue his run against Jim the Anvil Neidhart. Like I said, it's worked out pretty clever, isn't it? Zbyszko obviously primarily from the 70s, now Neidhart primarily from the 80s. We'll have to continue this on. This will be quite fun, actually. Give him someone from the 90s, maybe? I don't know, but it all depends how he gets on here this evening. If Randy Orton does not win this match, that could completely scupper his whole run here. So it's very situational, isn't it, really? Have to see how he gets on. Neidhart, very, very slow way to the ring, of course. Always useful to have a very slow person make his way to the ring. Oh, wow, we're only 20 subscribers away from 3,000 now. If you're not subscribed already, please do so, because I'd love to get to 3,000 subscribers by Christmas. That means I just need 20, which is... What's that? It's just over 1 a day now, up until Christmas. We can do that, can't we? Reckon we can do that? Oh no, it's 20 exactly today. So if you're not subscribed already, please do. Or if you've got a second account, then please log on and subscribe on that one, because I'd love to get to 3,000 subs by Christmas. That would be a real great Christmas present for me. And we're not too far away as well. We're on 448,000 views, which is incredible when I think about it. It really is. It's insane to think that 448,000 times somebody's clicked on one of my videos and gone, I'm going to watch that. It really is. Granted, a lot of them probably click straight off again when they realise what it was, but still. That's crazy, isn't it? If I get to, what was it, 500,000 views and 3,000 subs, that would be a real massive, massive thing for me. It really would. I got a lot more subs since 2K18 came out. We've got quite a lot of subs, actually. We've got 32 over the last month. So we're averaging about 1 a day. And if we can continue that run of 1 a day, we will hit 3,000 by Christmas, which I would love. I really, really would. We have lost quite a few, though. We gained 37 from watching videos. We've lost 2 due to closed accounts. I've lost another 4 from the subscription list. I wonder if it's because I upload too many videos, I think. I must annoy some people, the amount of videos I upload. But for some reason, I really want to do all these different things. That's the problem. And this obviously takes up a large portion of my time. I really want to continue playing Skyrim. So yeah, I've got so many things I want to do that I just end up uploading tons and tons of stuff. And for some reason now, I don't feel like I can ever play a game now unless it has unless I can record it. I don't know why. I just feel like it's a waste of time if I'm not recording a game. Or if I'm at least practicing a game or getting used to a game or learning the game before I start to record it. And wow. Okay. Randy's stalking. Okay. 1, 2. Wow, Randy's done it again. This run of form that Randy Orton's on is incredible. He demolished Larry Zbyszko last week in 30 seconds. And he's just done the same here against Jim the Anvil Neidhart. Wow, Randy freaking Orton. PJ Toby, you've got some serious looking talent on your roster here this year. And I know Randy might not be at the top of your list for people to push, but to be honest, the form he's in, I don't think you can necessarily ignore him at this point in time. I know, saying that, it's only Larry Zbyszko and Jim Neidhart, isn't it? In fairness, so maybe we'll have to continue seeing what happens as we push on. But still, this is a great run of form here by Randy Orton. Literally, he's really proven he doesn't get paid by the hour, isn't he? Those last 2 matches, the last 2 weeks. It's obviously gained him 10 ranking points as well, which is what he needed because, again, he didn't have a good time in Season 1, or Season 2, should I say, of SWE. So these ranking points are very important for him. 10 in 2 weeks. I say we give him another opportunity next week to show what he can do again. Why not? Why the hell not? And here is our next match of the evening. It is going to be the Brainbusters, of course, alongside Ric Flair, taking on Demolition. And, of course, the winner of this one will go on to face off against the Legion of Doom at Hollywood Heat for the Tag Team Championships. And here we go, going to start things off, of course, with the introduction of the Brainbusters, who have been a very good team so far this year. What have they done, though? Of course, the Brainbusters won a match alongside Ric Flair on the very opening episode of Mayhem against the likes of Razor, Ramon, Diesel and Triple H. That was a big match, that was. Then the Brainbusters also went on to defeat the Revival at, of course, our first Mayhem pay-per-view. So that was 2 pretty big wins in short succession. Flair then also defeated Wyndham. Flair defeated Michaels a few weeks back as well. So really are seeing a lot from the Horsemen, aren't we, really? And this is their first opportunity to prove what they've got and maybe earn themselves some gold here in SWE. And I do really appreciate, I can't remember who it was now, but the guy that created, because it is the same guy who created the 3 Horsemen that I'm using, the Iron Anderson, the Tully Blanchard and the Barry Windham. And I really appreciate his work because it really is fantastic, to be honest. It really is unbelievable work that he's put in. I think some people have got it and some people haven't. And to be honest, this guy really has got some ability. I'm sure this PlayStation's getting louder and louder and louder by the second. I'm sure you can probably hear that by now. It is so bloody loud. I'm pretty hot in here as well, though, so it probably is pretty warm. I'm going to open the window, 1 second. Okay, I don't know how wise of an idea it is right opening the window when it's still thick snow outside, like, but it's bloody warm in this room now. I think I've had the heater on too much. It's bloody heated the whole place up too much. Right. Demolition. I quite like Demolition's look. The entrance attire does look pretty cool, doesn't it? And it does make me wonder whether we might have to bring in Crush at some point as well. I think Crush would be pretty cool to have, just because it means that we could use Demolition as a trio then. We may have to do some trades at some point as well, because I realised that we are struggling on the Octane and Adrenaline save file. We are struggling for core spots. We've used them all up already, and we've still got about 6, 7, 8, 9 people to download. So I'm a little bit worried about that, but hopefully we can sort ourselves out. And I think myself and Peter might have to trade a few people on the game over to that save file, and then trade a few people that are cores over to alternative save files. Maybe I might be able to get lucky and maybe steal... Oh, if I stole Cassius Ohno from Carnage, how great would that be for Octane? Ho ho ho, don't tell PJ Tovey. But that's a good idea, I like that. Obviously I'll have to trade somebody quite good back in that case, but it means that I'll be able to take a core off the game, off that save file, and put it on the Carnage save file, which is a lot better for us. So that would work, actually. That would work. We're going to have a look at it anyway, myself and PJ Tovey. I've had to delete the Hardy Boys for now, because I've just run out of spaces, and I think I might just wait until we get the proper versions, because the ones I had were okay, but they weren't very, very good. I know that might annoy a few people, but I'd rather wait until we had the proper versions of the Hardys to use them before I end up wasting time with building up the older, the core versions. Snake Eyes there by Arn Anderson, and it's Ric Flair sending a chair into the ring. And Blanchard was out of position there, which meant that he couldn't go for the tag team maneuver. I believe that's Axe in the ring, isn't it? And Smash on the apron. I'm never good at some tag teams. I'm pretty sure that is Axe in the ring and Smash. Yeah, because it looks more like an axe on his face, doesn't it? So Smash now in the ring. Big right hand right in the gut. But Anderson fighting back. There's a backbreaker on Smash. He smashed him. In comes Blanchard. But caught straight away by Smash, who takes Blanchard up into a suplex. And Arn Anderson getting right in the face of Smash, distracting him. And that allowed Blanchard to get back up on his feet. And now Blanchard, oh, clever manoeuvre here, just pinning that leg around the bottom rope. Obviously weakening it potentially for a submission in the future, maybe, you never know. But Smash once again taking control, and Smash has done a really good job here of being in quite a lot of control of this match. Blanchard now taking Smash up, oh, into a pile driver. Axe making the tag, straight away clothesline, went for the running shoulder block, but Blanchard avoided it. And now, of course, Smash is down on the outside as Blanchard went for that butterfly, but Axe able to break free. And again, Arn Anderson right in the face of Axe, and that's allowed Blanchard to get back up to his feet, but Axe was paying attention now and locks in that submission. I believe that's like a chicken wing into the Russian leg sweep. Axe now bringing Blanchard back up to his feet into a backbreaker. A good back and forth match, this one, at the point in time. Nice power slam there. Arn Anderson distracting the referee. But the referee does finally notice that he's pinned Blanchard, and it's only enough for a 2 because of how much the referee was distracted. In comes Smash now, and I feel like Demolition are in firm control of this one, even though the Brainbusters have looked so good in recent weeks. I feel like now, like I said, that the Brainbusters are fully in control. Nice elbows there by Smash, taking control of the match once again. Blanchard must be in trouble here because he's taken some big maneuvers. Blanchard sending Axe across the ring. Makes the tag and now brings in Arn Anderson. Arn Anderson definitely the healthier man out of the two. Blanchard's taken some big moves so far. Anderson trying to decide what to do next, and he just left it a little bit too long. Smash now sending Arn Anderson into the corner. Another tag team maneuver here. This time by Demolition. It's a big double elbow. But Axe being distracted here by Ric Flair. Now gets back in the ring. Referee blocking Anderson off. Oh, clever maneuver there by Axe. Sort of baiting Anderson, who wanted to get to him. Oh, Axe trying to block the hot tag, but was unable to do so. And Blanchard now taking Axe out of the equation, send him over that top rope. And Anderson's down the outside. Now don't forget, after this one, we still have 2 more matches left for you. We've got Kane versus Finn Balor. And then our main event, Ricky Steamboat versus the Great Muta. And don't forget, this one is also for a chance to face off against the Legion of Doom at Hollywood Heat for the Mayhem Tag Team Championships. I ran out of breath there. Could you tell? So, Axe is still down on the outside, and Blanchard finally decides to pick him up and throw him back in the ring. Maybe he should have done that a little bit quicker, I think. Blanchard now bringing Axe back up to his feet. A clubbing blow to the back, and now Blanchard once again bringing Axe towards the ropes. Takes him up and springboard suplex. Nice. Very, very nice. Blanchard heading up to the middle rope. Into a double axe on the right to the spine of Axe. Now, I had a bit of a moan, didn't I, on the last show, the Octane pay-per-view, about the length of the tag team match, but this one is going on a bit of time as well, but I don't think it's a bad thing because this is actually quite a good match. It's well balanced, it's not down to dodgy refereeing decisions and that sort of stuff. We've not seen anything close enough to an end yet. So I'm happy with this tag team match at this point in time. Whereas, like I said, yeah, the other one was a bit of a pain. Axe now locking in that chicken wing style submission once again. Is Blanchard going to tap? No, Blanchard manages to break free this time. Blanchard now has got his feet up on the ropes here. 1, 2... No, only 1 count, actually. I sort of pre-guessed the 2. Blanchard now reverse DDT. Tag there by Axe into Smash, who comes in as clotheslines Blanchard out of his boots. Big elbow right to the back of the arm there at Blanchard. And then Smash just smashed him with the boots. Bringing Blanchard back up to his feet. But Blanchard fighting back with a knee right in the gut. Sending Smash face first into the turnbuckle. Blanchard now rolling Axe through from the middle rope. In for the pin. 1, 2. Only a 2 count. Axe obviously thought there was enough danger to come into the ring, but not quite enough. Blanchard here deciding what to do next. He drags Smash back up to his feet. Face first into the turnbuckle. But Smash turns it around, sending Blanchard in there now. And Anderson in the ring as Smash just smashes Blanchard into the turnbuckle. Now stalking him. And there's that big power slam splash as well. There's the pin. And Ric Flair has the referee distracted here. And all of a sudden the Brainbusters are seeing a massive advantage to having the dirtiest player in the game at ringside. Demolition could have won the match there and then, in my opinion. Blanchard going from the top, dropping an elbow right on the top of the head. Now dropping an elbow into the chest of Axe as well. Brings Axe back up to his feet. Blanchard now looking for a power driver. He hits it as well. Smash is struggling here. He's gone limp. Nice knee in the face. Bring Axe back up to his feet. Into that far corner. Oh, but Axe turns it around. Another tag team maneuver here by Demolition. Double elbows once again. It just makes you wonder what they're going to have to do to keep this guy down because of the Ric Flair influence at ringside. That's the problem. Axe now with that power slam again. 1, 2. No, it's only a 2. Did he tap out? He kicked out. No way did he kick out. No freaking way did he kick out. Blanchard slamming the arm of Axe into the mat, brings him back up to his feet. Arn's down on the outside after that hot tag. Or is he? Yep, he is. Axe now sending Blanchard's shoulder first into that post. But just what have Demolition got to do to keep him down? They've had Ric Flair block off a pin. They've had a kick out to what should have been a finish as well, you think, wouldn't you? Big punch in the gut of Blanchard. Smash now taking Blanchard up on his shoulders and dropping him neck first across that top rope, and still Arn Anderson out of position. And it probably would be this submission, if anything, to win it. Arn Anderson slides in, but he's not there quick enough. And Smash gets the submission victory over Tully Blanchard. And there we go. Demolition are victorious, and Demolition will go on to Hollywood Heat, the pay-per-view, to take on the Legion of Doom for the Tag Team Championships. And you can't say they didn't deserve it, really, can you? Because they probably should have won that match a couple of times already if it wasn't for the likes of Ric Flair at ringside. But it was close. The Brainbusters had a couple of opportunities themselves. That was the first of those submissions. So, in fairness, Blanchard was locked into that submission 3 times in this match. And of course, whenever you lock someone into it, they're going to take damage. And as time went on, more and more damage got caused. And that led to, of course, eventually having to tap out. And there we go, your winners. Demolition. Demolition versus Legion of Doom is happening, people, at the pay-per-view for the Mayhem Tag Team Championships. And here we go then for our next match of the evening. And this is going to be Kane versus Finn Balor. Of course, Finn Balor over the past few weeks has defeated Mankind. He's defeated Sting. He's defeated Pentagon at Halloween Havoc as well. He really has had a very good run of form. And I'd be interested to see if he can continue that run of form on here this evening against Kane. And this is not just any Kane, this is retro Kane. This is 90s Kane. So this Kane is very highly rated. I think like high 80s, like 89 I think he is. So yeah, it's definitely worth be definitely worth it for Finn Balor to get another victory here. Plus, he's already picked up 15 points over the last couple of weeks. Another 5 points here would be massive for him. It really would. And there we go. The Flames of Kane. I read a story the other day, actually, about Matt Morgan. And Matt Morgan was saying that he was due to debut. I don't know how truthfully to state this, but Matt Morgan was due to debut in WWE originally with a mask on, and he was going to be called Abel, and he was going to be Kane's brother. Which I didn't think. I thought, well, that makes no sense. Then I realised Kane and Abel from the Bible. It was actually a really cool idea, and that would have led us with 3 members of that family then: Kane, Taker, and Abel, which would have been a really interesting dynamic. But eventually they decided against it. As we await the entrance here of the Demon himself, Mr. Finn Balor. Where art thou? Where art thou, Finn? Oh, Finn Balor rocking another attire here. He's been doing this a lot the last few weeks, just really getting into people's minds before the matches. And it looks like he's got himself a special Kane attire here now as well. Very similar to his standard attire, because it's obviously black and red as it is anyway. But the special Kane coat, the mask, the gloves. I'm liking this. Good old Finn Balor. The man with the longest entrance on WWE. I'm sure he's the longest entrance on WWE this year. Do 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 do. It's pretty cool actually. We're getting through a lot of these special attires. I like them. I really do. If you want to get any, by the way, you just go into the community creations and type in Balor. You'll be amazed how many alternative attires Finn Balor's got, and I want to try and use a lot of them because I feel like it's a real cool little thing to have in this universe. We're just trying to try different things out because a lot of the time, especially when he was in New Japan or when he was in the indie scene, a lot of time Finn Balor had several different paints that he used to work with, not just the one demon paint. He used to work with a lot of different paints, and I quite like the whole idea. It'd be interesting to see a tag team between Kane and Finn Balor. The demon and the devil's favourite demon. 2 demons together. Called Demon Inc. Yeah, that wouldn't work with it. I don't know what's happening in Raw at the moment, to be honest with you. It looked like Kane was feuding with Finn Balor, and then all of a sudden, now Kane is now feuding with Braun Strowman instead. I don't think WWE really know what they're doing, to be brutally honest. I feel like they're just I don't know what they're doing. I think they've sort of backed themselves into a corner with the Royal Rumble situation, not having anyone to face off against Brock Lesnar. So they've sort of backed themselves into a corner, this whole Kane-Braun Strowman idea. It wouldn't surprise me if they end up at Royal Rumble with a triple threat between Kane, Strowman and Lesnar. Kane and Strowman do a lot of the heavy lifting, and then Lesnar gets the win by pinning Kane. I feel like that's a pretty easy way of doing it, to be honest with you. Finn Balor starting off strong here. Starting off very strong. Kane struggling to even get any offense until Balor went for that big missile dropkick, but Kane just slapped him out the way. Kane now taking Balor up, but Balor slides at the back. Well, it is a different attire, isn't it? He's gone for more red with black rather than black with red, if that makes sense. Like his boots and knee pads that are all much more red based. I quite like this actually. I like the whole, like I said earlier on, the alternative Finn Balor attires I do really like. And Balor is still really trying to show how good he is by defeating some of the best opponents that PJ Tovey and Daniel Bryan could put in his way. However, Oh, nice spinning forearm there by Finn Balor on Kane. However, even in a losing fashion, he can still show how good he is, couldn't he, really? Finn Balor really going the long way up to the top rope. And once again, it looks like he's going to go for this dropkick. He missed it the first time. Oh, but this time he hits a Hurricanrana. Okay. A little bit different. Balor now sending Kane over the top, but Kane catching Balor with that right hand. But because Kane's so slow back in the ring, Balor caught him out. That's iffy, isn't it? Kane dropping to the outside and Finn Balor making chase. Nice stiff DDT there by Finn Balor, who now slides back into the ring. Heads up top. Where's Finn going to go for here? This is high, Finn. This is a big, dangerous maneuver. But he's going to go for it. Oh, he hits that missile dropkick this time. Almost booting Kane's face off. Face off. Balor slides Kane back into the ring. Bringing Kane back up now into the far corner. Or Balor dragging Kane away from the corner. We've seen this before. Looking potentially for that shotgun drop kick, which is normally followed up by a travel up to the top rope for a coup de grace. And he hits it. Is it going to be enough? There's the pin. 1, 2, and 3. And Finn Balor has won once again against another big, big name that PJ Tovey and Daniel Bryan, of course, our general manager here on Mayhem, have put in front of him. Wow. Boom. Stiff drop kick. There's the double foot stomp as well. Of course, the coup de grace. And I must admit, Kane did not really look that up for it today, did he? He looked pretty good, but at the same time, just not quite there. I think the power of Finn Balor, as he gets better and better, he's building more and more momentum. He's getting stronger and stronger. And I feel like this whole Finn Balor scenario is going to end up on Finn Balor's side at this rate. We've got one more episode of Mayhem before the pay-per-view. Be interesting to see who Finn Balor's next opponent's going to be. And here we go then. Here is your main event of the evening. Of course, it is going to be Ricky the Dragon Steamboat versus Retro Great Muta. Good times. Now, of course, we've only seen Muta once so far in this universe mode, and that was in a win against Finn Balor at the previous pay-per-view. So another win here, he could put himself in a very strong position, actually. So another win here, and he could really be looking good. Whereabouts is he in the rankings? He's already... Where is he? Here, Muta, Muta, Muta. Oh, is he on 100? Because he's new, isn't he? He is on 100, so he's on 110. Which puts him level with Hakushi. Above Diesel, Lashley, just below Batista, above Kane now as well, as obviously just lost his previous match. Another win here though would put him up to 120, which would put him level with Michaels, above Jake Roberts, above Batista, and only a few points behind. Well, he'll go level with Ultimo Dragon, and only a few points behind the Undertaker, which is a pretty good position for him to be in, to be honest. Definitely, the more further he gets at the rankings, the more chance he's going to get for PJ Tovey to give him that opportunity at a championship. But of course, we will be doing some special shows here and there as we go through. And I feel like Muta's definitely going to get some of those. He was part... Was he part of a special... You don't think he was part of a special show yet, was he? I feel like he will be at some point, though. I remember this is the really dodgy... Yeah, I don't know what happens. He doesn't put his entrance attire on until after the green smoke. I don't understand why this happens. It should be the other way around. We've had this discussion, shouldn't we? Yeah. He should come out like this, throw the smoke bomb down, and then turn into... Yeah, and then turn into the I think they might have buggered up the writing on this one, to be honest with you. A lot of the game doesn't really make a hell of a lot of sense, does it? But there you go, there's the Great Muta. Ricky Steamboat already in the ring. These two guys are always destined to have a fantastic match, aren't they? And here we go, and this is the big one, your main event of the evening. And of course, don't forget next week's show as well. Like I've already said, we do have Batista versus Triple H next week at our main event for a chance to face off against The Rock at the pay-per-view Hollywood Heat. Of course, live from Hollywood. A pin straight away from Ricky Steamboat. Not quite sure how he got a 1 count there, to be honest, but he did. There you go. Nice takedown there by Muta. Brings Steamboat back up to his feet. Into the ropes. Nice knee in the gut. Muta now bringing Steamboat up to a seated base. A boot in the spine. Backdrop there by... Steamboat. Almost folded him completely in half, didn't he really? Steamboat now taking Muta up into a suplex. Dropping an elbow right in the spine now as well. Steamboat taking Muta up into a reversed suplex again. Nice big kick in the spine. Another kick in the spine once again. Steamboat heads up top. What's he got planned here? If he goes to the big crossbody already, that'd be a very quick win. No, he goes for a diving elbow right to the forehead instead. I thought he might be going for the big one there, you know. Steamboat now bringing Muta back up to his feet. Drops him over the top. Now this fight continues on the outside. Now this isn't no DQ, so the referee will start the counts. Nice Saito there. I wonder if you do raise the count out from 10 up to say 20. I wonder if they still come back in the ring at like a 7/8 count, or whether they change it to come in at like 16 or 17. I'd rather them come in a bit earlier, to be honest. Muta now sending Steamboat back into the ring. Dropping an elbow right on the inside of the knee. Muta heading up top. Dropping the double knees right in the gut. There's the pin. 1, 2. Only a 2 count. Muta getting comfortable here. Go up to the top for a little bit of a taunt. Maybe not the best idea while your opponent's not completely grounded. But now Muta taking Steamboat up on his shoulders. Drops him across. Neck first. Across that top rope. Now Muta dropping a boot right in the gut of Steamboat. And there's the head scissors. Now the elbow is right on the top of the forehead of Steamboat as well. Steamboat manages to break free from that into a reverse DDT. It'd be interesting to see what PJ Toby's plans is with these two guys, to be honest. I feel like a Savage versus Steamboat would be a very interesting dynamic to see. Especially if Steamboat was to, especially if Savage was to win the television championship, then Savage versus Steamboat for the television championship just has money written all over it, really, doesn't it? That would be an awesome match. Steamboat up top once again, stalking the great Muta. And catches him with an elbow again. Still not gone for that crossbody yet. Muta falls to the outside following Steamboat. Muta, oh, stiff clothesline right to the back of the head of Steamboat. Now taking Steamboat up once again. Just marching around the ring with him before just, oh, lawn darted him into the ring post. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. And again, face first into the ring post. Muta bringing Steamboat back up. Into the ring he goes. Muta now dropping an elbow right on the inside of the knee. Heading up top. What's Muta got planned from the top? It's a moonsault, beautifully hit as well. Not going to go for the pin though. Has something else in his mind by the looks of it. Muta now taking Steamboat up on his shoulders. Into that Urigoroshi. Muta now backing away to the corner. Now stalking the grounded Steamboat. What does he have planned here? Oh, went for that running knee or running kick to the side of the head by the looks of it, but Steamboat avoided it. Muta ducks the clothesline, but Steamboat catches him into that backdrop. In for the pin. It makes you wonder, I don't know how the game works. Does Steamboat then steal Muta's finisher maneuver now? Could he go potentially for a crossbody? I'm sure he must have had that ability already, to be honest. Muta taking Steamboat up, but Steamboat fighting free into that reverse DDT. Again, Steamboat, oh, nice chops. And now locking in a sleeper hold here on Muta. Is this going to be enough maybe to finish him off? It is. Muta's out. Steamboat just choked Muta out. Wow. Wow, that is a massive win there by Steamboat. And he gets himself a nice 10 ranking points. Muta loses 10 ranking points. And that's got to give Steamboat some big props moving forward. Like I said to PJ Toby, if Randy Savage were to win that, even if Randy Savage doesn't win the TV title, I just want to see Savage versus Steamboat, to be honest. And if there was a championship involved, we could do a full month's worth of feud based on that. Who knows? Even a best 2 out of 3 falls on that match, because it was just a classic match of the history, isn't it? But it was a really good match here. I quite enjoyed this main event, and it's worked out very well. I think this whole show has actually been a pretty good show, in fairness. I've had a couple of rough ones recently, but I'm very happy with tonight's show, so thank you, PJ Toby, for actually booking a good one. You're not always that good to me, but you've done well here today. Nice sleeper hold there then by Savage was the one that really finished it off. I thought we might go for a big crossbody, but decided to go a little bit more technical, which is probably a wise thing to do, in theory. I'm trying to keep the other high flyer grounded, and there we go. There we go. Steamboat with his biggest victory, I think, so far in SWE. First time he's been in the main event as well. So there we go, guys. That's the end of this episode. I hope you have enjoyed it. Of course, if you have, then please do hit a like, and of course, hit subscribe if you want to see some more. I've been Shabby Gamer. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. We've got a Universe Mode special on Saturday, which was the Option C pay-per-view we were supposed to have last week. And then on Sunday, we've got our next episode of Octane. So we've got 2 big shows for you over the weekend, so don't miss out on those. I've been Shabby Gamer. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.